Hello, and welcome to Registration 101 for the Faculty of Engineering at the University of Alberta. I would like to begin with a land acknowledgement. The University of Alberta, its buildings, labs, and research stations are primarily located on the traditional territory of the Cree, Blackfoot, Métis, Nakota Sioux, Iroquois, Dene, and Ojibwe, Saulteaux, and Anishinaabe nations, lands that are now known as part of Treaties 6, 7, and 8, and the homeland of the Métis. The agenda for today will include a quick review of the degree structure here at the University of Alberta for our Bachelor of Science in Engineering. Then I will help you review your pattern documents, as well as a quick My Schedule Builder walkthrough. Right now, we are at the beginning of your engineering career. We are enrolling in classes that will be part of your foundational/qualifying first year. After you complete your first year, you will receive a ranking form and eventually be placed into a specialization or a discipline within the Faculty of Engineering. Our Faculty of Engineering offers both traditional and co-op degree programs that will allow you to personalize your experience within the University of Alberta. At the end, both result in a Bachelor of Science in Engineering. This is an example of one of the patterns and the courses that will be taken within the foundational first year here at the U of A. In first year, all of our engineering students take the exact same 12 courses, 6 courses in first semester and 6 courses in second. You will notice, however, that in these semesters, there's one class that is part-time. In fall semester, that class is Eng 100, and in winter semester, that class is Eng 160. These classes do not meet every week, and as a result, they are part-time classes. The remainder of your classes will meet every week, with the exception of some labs that are on alternating weeks. It's really important when we are creating our schedules that we are following our specific pattern documents. I will be able to elaborate on that later, but for this presentation, we will be utilizing pattern 1 as our example. There are some important terms for you to know in order to successfully register in your courses and have a good understanding of what your schedule will entail. Any course that is listed as a lecture has a professor at the front of the room, and they will be speaking about a topic and teaching you the material for that course. When there is a lab associated with a lecture, that means that it's a hands-on opportunity for you to apply the class knowledge that you have received and do additional assignments that are required for just that lab portion. Lastly, there are seminars, and seminars are class-based discussions that have project work integrated into them or shared assignments. These seminars are typically once a week. For example, Physics 130 has a lecture component, EngComp 100 has a lab component, Engineering 100 has a seminar, and Chemistry 103 has all three. Some courses will be just lecture, other lecture and lab, other lecture, lab, and seminar. We are now going to review the pattern documents to ensure you have a thorough understanding of how to utilize them when registering for your courses. When looking at a pattern document, it's important to note that any class times that are listed in gray are a fixed class time. They cannot be changed. However, if there are portions of the schedule that are in color, they are a variable class time. This means that you select a section number from each color and you are able to have some variety and say in when your classes are. Please pay attention to your individual assigned pattern, as they all have different fixed and variable class times. For example, in pattern 1, Math 100 lecture is a fixed class time. Students in pattern 1 cannot select to move their Math 100 lecture. However, they do have the choice between taking their Math 100 lab either on Mondays or on Fridays. Additionally, in pattern 1 in the winter semester, they are able to choose between having English either Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Tuesdays and Thursdays, or on Wednesday evenings. Because all of these are the same color, I know that I am able to pick one section number and attend those classes. However, Math 101 is a set lecture where I will not be able to change the time of the course. It may look as though Chem 103 and Physics 130 labs will happen at the same time. However, this is not the case. You will not have a lab at the same time on the same day. We are going to be very careful in the registration process to ensure that that does not happen, and I will walk you through how to do that in a moment. When reviewing our pattern documents, these slides allow us to see all of the class numbers that are associated with our pattern for each class that we have to take in first year. As a result, when we are in My Schedule Builder, we are going to be utilizing these class numbers to ensure that we are enrolling in the correct section of a course. What does a section of a course mean? It means that you're going to be in a specific room or with a specific professor during that time. They are all going to be covering the same material. It's just going to be in different locations and at different times. When reviewing these pattern slides, we can tell which of our courses are fixed and where we have some variation in when we take a class. For example, EngComp 100 has the lecture listed only once. That means it's a fixed class, and I will only be able to take the lecture at that time. The same thing applies for Math 100. For Math 100, the lecture is listed only once, which means that I will for certain have math class during that time. However, the math labs have some flexibility in what time I'm taking them and on what day of the week. So when I look at the schedule, I know that for these first 3 sections, I would be in a lab on Mondays, and in these last 2 sections, I would be in a lab on Fridays. We are going to be using these class numbers to enroll in our classes in My Schedule Builder. On the next slide of your pattern documents, you will see all of the physics and chemistry labs outlined. As I mentioned before, we are not going to have a lab at the same time on the same day on the same week. The way that we are going to ensure that we don't have conflicting labs is by selecting either even lab sections or odd lab sections. What does that mean? That means that when I'm enrolling in my classes, I have a little bit of flexibility about whether or not I want to have my physics lab on Fridays, Thursdays, or Tuesdays. And I have some choice in my chemistry lab if I want it on Tuesdays or on Fridays. As long as I select 2 even or 2 odd lab sections, I will not have labs that occur at the same time, nor will I have labs that occur within the same week. For example, if I chose to take my labs on Tuesday evenings, then I would select a physics lab either odd or even. For this, we'll say even. And then I would select a corresponding even lab for chemistry. So I know that I want to have my labs Tuesday evenings, and I would select lab F02. So I would have my chemistry lab on Tuesday evenings. But they are going to be on different weeks because I have selected either 2 even or 2 odd lab sections. Fairtracks is an online portal that will allow you to access really important references throughout your degree. Within Fairtracks, you can view your schedule, pay your tuition, check your final grades, view your final exam schedules, and much more. We are going to be creating our schedule within Fairtracks utilizing the My Schedule Builder tile. When we're using My Schedule Builder, it is recommended that you use a computer or a large tablet, as well as filter your campus. When we filter our campus, that allows us to view courses that we are going to be eligible for. So for the Faculty of Engineering, all of your courses will be happening on main campus, unless you selected to take first year in French at Campus Saint-Jean, in which case you would also want to select Campus Saint-Jean as your campus. In order to log on to Fairtracks, we're going to go through the single sign-on and utilize our campus computing ID and password. Once we're inside BearTracks, we will then go to My Schedule Builder. We are now going to use our pattern document to create our schedule within My Schedule Builder. For example, in pattern 1, I'm going to have to enroll in End 100 first. These pattern documents are made in a very explicit way where you have to enroll in courses in the order in which they are presented on the slides. Otherwise, you are going to get error messages that will prevent you from being able to enroll in these classes. So I know for pattern 1, I am going to have to enroll in End 100 before I can enroll in any of my other classes. I will then go to this slide in my pattern documents that list all of the class numbers, and I will find End 100, and I will select the class number that is listed. Then, after copy and pasting this class number, I will paste it into the My Schedule Builder search bar. We are going to use the class numbers and not the course name, because if we search by course name, we are going to see results that we are not eligible for. My Schedule Builder will only allow you to enroll in classes that are within your pattern. So if you haven't received a pattern assignment yet, you will not be able to enroll in classes. Additionally, you will not be able to enroll in classes that are not in your pattern, even if it is a preferred class time for you. So I've pasted the class number for End 100 into the search bar, and when I click on End 100, it's been added to my schedule. I know that I've selected the correct course because it tells me that I've selected End 100 for pattern 1. Now, I go back to the list of classes, and I see that I have to enroll in EndComp 100 next. So I will go back to this slide, find EndComp 100, and I will see that I have a lecture and 2 lab options. Instead of searching by the class number for the lecture, for any class that has a lab component, we are going to search with the class number for the lab. The great thing about My Schedule Builder is that once we select a lab, it will automatically enroll us into the corresponding lecture, meaning that we don't have to search 2 different class numbers. We simply search by the lab number. So I'm going to take the class number for EndComp 100's lab that I am choosing to take, and it will automatically add me into the lecture component. So I see here that I have my lab at 12:30 on Thursdays, and I have my EndComp lecture in the afternoons on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And this is the process that you are going to go through for the remainder of your pattern. Then you would go and input the course number for physics and chemistry, making sure that you're either selecting even and even or odd and odd numbers. Then you would enroll in the math lab that will then automatically put you into the lecture. And lastly, you would enroll in End 130. Once we have finished selecting our courses for the semester, we are going to add these courses to our cart. If you are creating your schedule after course enrollment has begun for you, you are not required to add to your cart. However, if you are creating your schedule before enrollment has begun, this is a great way to save it and save you time on the morning of enrollment. By scrolling down on My Schedule Builder directly underneath the visual schedule, you will see a button that says Get This Schedule. After you click it, you will be able to change all of the toggles to say Add to Cart under Actions. Once they have all been changed to say Add to Cart, you will click the Do Actions button. This is going to save your schedule and add everything into your enrollment course cart. We can confirm that it's been done successfully once My Schedule Builder lists our classes as being in our enrollment course cart. Then, when the time comes to enroll in courses, you will return to My Schedule Builder and go back to the Get This Schedule button, except this time, all of the toggles will automatically say checkout and enroll. This is a lot like online shopping. When we added it to our cart, we haven't actually purchased it yet, so we're not confirmed to be enrolled in those courses. By checking out and enrolling in these classes, we are officially reserving our seat. Once all of the toggles list checkout and enroll, you will select Do Actions, and My Schedule Builder will confirm that you have enrolled in your courses. There are a handful of error messages that are common to receive when you are enrolling in your classes. One of them is a prerequisite notice. A prerequisite means that the course you are required to take before you're taking this course has not been enrolled in yet. Therefore, My Schedule Builder will not allow you to enroll in it. For example, if I tried to enroll into Chem 105 before taking Chem 103 or before enrolling officially into Chem 103, I am going to receive a prerequisite notice letting me know that I am not eligible for this course. If you are receiving the prerequisite message for your winter semester, but you have not yet enrolled in your fall semester officially, there's no need to panic. That just means that you haven't officially enrolled yet. That's why the prerequisite hasn't been met. But once you enroll in your fall semester, the prerequisite error will be waived. You will be able to enroll in your winter semester without difficulty. Another common error message is a co-requisite message. This means there's a class you either have to take at the same time or before you can enroll in this class. For example, Eng 160 has a co-requisite of English 199, meaning that I will either have to take English 199 before I take Eng 160 or at the same time that I take Eng 160. Again, if this is appearing in your winter semester, but you have not enrolled in fall semester yet, no worries. This will resolve itself once you enroll in fall semester. Lastly, there is a reserved seats error. With a reserved seats error, this means that while there may be seats available in a class, you are not eligible to fill those seats. We reserve a specific number of seats for students in their upper year courses or transfer students to ensure that they're able to take the classes they need. As a result, only specific student types can enroll in these seats. If you are receiving a reserved seats error message, please select a different section and there will be seats available for you there. If you are looking for additional resources, we highly recommend looking at uab.ca/reg101 for a self-guided module and additional information regarding enrollment process. It's also worthwhile to spend time on our engineering website at uab.ca/engineering. This way, you can learn more about your faculty and understand the degree requirements that are coming. Lastly, if you have any further questions, please send us an email at enginfo@ualberta.ca and we will be able to help you out. We can't wait to see you in September. Best of luck with your enrollment.